All right. One new shape we're learning today for the volume problem. Before we write it down, what's the formula for volume? Length times width times height when it is a what? A what type of special prism? Rectangular prism. I'm just going to write rectangular prism because does that include a square prism or a cube? Yes. All right. That was for that one there. Okay, there's other ones. What if it was a triangle? Half base times height times the height of the prism. 1/2 base times the height of the prism. So this is the area of the base times the height. Do you guys see that? So is the height of your base the same as the height of your prism? No. All right, so this is what kind of prism? Triangular. All right. Yes.
I have a question on the homework really quick.
I'll get back to the homework. Let me do these really quick. All right. Length times width times height for a rectangular prism, which includes square prisms and cubes. 1/2 base times height. Triangular prisms. I'm sorry, 1/2 base times height times the height of the prism. I am going to fix this because it looks like that's a multiplication. So let me fix a better way to write this. This is the formula here, and it's used for triangular prisms. This is the formula here, and it's used for what? Rectangular prisms. All right, what if it is a cylinder? Pi r squared times height of the prism. And this is used on what? All right. Now, what if we have a hexagonal prism? That's the one we're going to be doing today. Area of the base.
Didn't you say this one involved all the shapes?
Yes. Times the height of the prism. All right. Now this is for a hexagonal prism or any other 7-sided polygon, 10-sided polygon, any other prism. Actually, this formula here works for all of them. This is the area of the base times the height. Area of the base times the height. Area of the base times the height. Do you see that? All right. So let's write down the area of the base for a hexagon or any other regular polygon. Put your phones away. You're paying attention. All right. What is it? Half the apothem. This is for the volume of a hexagon or any other regular cylinder. This is the same thing. I'm just writing it out in long ways. Apothem times what? Perimeter times the height of the prism. All right, these two are the same. I'm just writing it out with the actual formula inside. Area of the base times the height of the prism. That one actually works for all of these. All right, this is for a hexagonal prism. Or any other prism.
Could we use this squares or cubes, or
You can use them on any one of these. It's easier if you don't. It's easier if you use these individually, but this works for all of these. All right, are we ready? All right, we're gonna do our best on this one. Number one. Find the volume. Okay, what you're going to draw is a hexagon. And if you're not drawing with me, it's going to get a bit confusing. Okay, does everybody have it? All right, and then just come down to the bottom and redraw the best you can to match. Yes. Okay. Now imagine this is your top base, this is your bottom base. Now I'm going to connect with you. I'm going to connect the two outside pieces right here. These two are the front, these two are the front. Do you see that? Front and front. So I'm going to connect these two front to these two front. These two front to those two fronts. And those two backs to those two backs. Okay, that's why I said follow me. All right. I'm going to go ahead and change this back here to dotted lines. You don't have to, but just so that you can see where the dimension piece is. All right, so I connected these two fronts to these two fronts. That's what I've done so far. These two front corners to these two front corners. And now I'm going to connect the back corners. These two back to these two back. If you did it piece by piece, it should have come out somewhat.
It's pretty easy.
Okay. Do you guys see the bases here? Area of the base times the height. What shape is my base? Hexagon. All right, so that's why we're using the half apethon perimeter. All right, so here is what you're going to do. Let me give you the pieces of information first. The perimeter, let's give an information. Perimeter is 36. The perimeter of the hexagon, yes. Actually, I'm going to erase that. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to give you something else, more of what you're going to see in the test. I'm going to give you that right there. I just gave you a freebie, and that's okay. We're going to get there eventually. That side is 6, and this side is 10.
You can still write P equals 6.
You don't have to, but if you have it, you can leave it. All right. Leg of a hexagon is 6. What does this 10 represent? The what of the prism? Height of the prism. All right. Now, what I'd like you to do is ignore everything except for the hexagon. Can you guys picture just the hexagon base? Yes. And area of the base is half the apethon times the perimeter. All right, so in order to find half the apethon times the perimeter, I'm going to redraw my triangles. So remember how we draw them all, and then we take one and cut it in half. Yes or no? All right. So, this one's not drawn very nice to scale, so you can't just take a guess at what it is. How do I find that top angle? The same thing that we've been doing over and over and over.
360 divided by 6.
360, why 6? Because there are 6
Sides.
sides, not because the length is 6. What's 360 divided by 6?
60.
And then we take 60 and cut it in half, and that is 30. So mine was definitely not drawn to scale. 30, 60, 2a, a root 3. Is all of that labeled properly? Okay, what am I looking for? For this formula, I'm looking for the apothem. Where's the apothem in this picture?
A root 3.
Okay, now in order to find a root 3, I need to find a. So let's look at anything that we know. How can I use the 6 or the 10 to find the pieces here? Yes.
3.
3 for which side?
A.
Do you agree, Seth? All right, do you guys see how he got a is 3? If this is 6, then that must be 3, yes or no? All right, so what is the apothem? 3 root 3. Apothem, check. All I need now is the perimeter. Is the perimeter easy to find?
Yes.
And I gave it to you earlier, but if I didn't, what would you say? 6 times? Because there are 6 sides. And what is it?
36.
All right, so area of the base. Area of the base is half the apothem. We just found the apothem to be what?
3.
The apothem is here. 3 root 3 times the perimeter, and we just found the perimeter to be what? 36. Now when you plug this in your calculator, do not plug in the root 3. So you do 3 times 36 divided by 2. And I suggest you do not doze off because this is a test question. Yes, all of these steps on your own. 3 times 36 divided by 2, what do you guys get? 54. So area of the base, I'm going to call it AB, equals, what is it? 54 root 3. Now I will tell you right now, this right here is the meat of the problem. That's the hard part. After you find the area of the base, the volume piece is easy. Okay? This is the hard part here, the part that's going to take most of the work. And you may think it's not that hard. It's just work that you have to get through. Okay, what's the volume? Area of the base, did we just find that right now?
Yes.
What is it? 54 root 3 times the height of the prism is what?
54 times 10.
Yes, bless you. So you do 54 times 10, leave the radical out. What is your volume? 540 root 3 units cubed. Good job.
Can't see.
I know. 540 root 3 units cubed. All right, definite test question. They're probably going to ask you something like, what's the area of the base? What would your area of the base answer be? And they're going to say, okay, now what is the volume? You take that area of the base and you multiply it by the what? The height of your prism, and it ends up being 540 root 3. Questions? Definite test question.
Oh, I have a question on that.
Okay, that's it for notes. I just wanted to go through this one with you. Definite test question. If I were you, I would mark that right now. Test question. Study. All right, I'm going to move this aside. I'm going to take the worksheet back out. This is the one right here that you want to mark and make sure you understand. Yes, I know. Guys, when you come back in tomorrow, I will go over these with you, okay? And anything on the back as well. And Peyton, which one did you see your question on? The homework is the rest of this packet. Not packet, worksheet. Sorry. The rest. You already did even, so now you're doing odds.